Hey everyone, John Hendricks coming at you with another episode of The Drive, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook here on Boot Crew Media. It is Thursday, second look at the Saints today. Not encouraging news, obviously, there. Missing their big four, or big three, really. I mean, you would say it's Chris. I'm sorry, it's Marshawn Lattimore, Michael Thomas, and Jarvis Landry. Also, Adam Trautman didn't practice again on Thursday, so with Trautman, I think there was, like we said kind of yesterday, that we feel a little bit more optimistic there. But there are some concerns with Juwan Johnson popping up on the report today as limited with a hamstring injury. That's something to monitor. But as far as Lattimore goes, I'm told that he's not expected to play on Sunday, dealing with a kidney injury as well as a ribs from that game against the Seahawks where, just kind of went to hell in a handbasket, if you will. And so he's going to be out, and he could miss time against the Ravens as well. We'll see how that kind of plays out. Michael Thomas went from, we kind of saw him at practice, and then he wasn't spotted today. Neither was Jarvis Landry. Again, we've talked about Landry. It is a ankle injury. That was a setback that he suffered there. So Saints are just going to have to find a way, right? And they're rolling forward with Andy Dalton as their starter. And so this is a game where they kind of have to have. I mean, there's really no other way to slice it. You got Baltimore right behind them. So these are really two big, important games coming up, both at home. But this is going to probably dictate how the season goes. 2 wins will absolutely put them back in the race here, but it starts with Sunday against the Raiders with 2 losses. I just don't know if they're going to be able to rattle off, what is it? That put them at 9, 10 straight, right? Or 8 straight, just to be able to get to 10-7. So tough spot to be in. Saints have got a lot of questions to answer. Look, again, the mood in the locker room is good. Things are encouraging. But again, we've heard this before, but, battling these injuries, Paul Debo actually talked to us and said that he got hurt against the Seahawks with a knee injury. It aggravated against the Bengals. That's why he missed the game against the Cardinals on Thursday. Kind of says he's getting better, day to day. I presumably he would start alongside Alontae Taylor against the Raiders. Very talented wide receiving group that they have. Look for Chris Harris Jr. to potentially be signed to the roster again. He has already been called up from the practice squad 3 times. They can't elevate him. They'd have to put him on the active roster and potentially make a move to be able to make room for him. They could use Bryce Thompson in that spot. They could also call up another practice squad receiver just to see how things go. But ideally, injuries suck. And the Saints team is dealing with a lot of them. And, I've heard a lot of people talk about, what is the new training staff brought in, all these types of things. I think these are injuries that you just can't really get past. I mean, this is just nothing that a good training staff, you could have the best one out there. I don't think some of the things that have happened have really put this training staff in a spot where you're saying, well, it's their fault because they can't get healthy. It's just these types of injuries, the nature injuries. It's kind of just freakish the way it's been happening. But, look, they're going to have to find a way. I think the ground game is a big way that they can do that. But, again, it's going to depend on them in a matter of execution to be able to come out with a win against the Raiders. They are the underdogs right now. But, look, I think they can pull this thing out still with all things considered. And there's still a lot of talented guys on this roster, but not having some of these guys in the lineup is certainly going to hurt. But, look, we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. We'll get one more look at the team on Friday with the injury report, the final injury report with game designations, and then see how things roll into the weekend. As always, be sure to place your $5 bet and use the code BOOT, B-O-O-T, at DraftKings Sportsbook to claim your $200 in free bets. Easy money. You could do it on Thursday Night Football if you wanted to, but I think the Saints game would be a different one. Parlay, maybe you're not feeling so good. Maybe you're thinking that Rashid Shaheed could continue his touchdown magic. That might be an interesting bet to put on if you use a $5 bet. But, multitude of ways you can use your $5 bet on DraftKings Sportsbook. Use that code BOOT to be able to get $200 in free bets if you are in a area that is available to be able to partake in that. And as always, gamble responsibly. I'm John Hendricks for The Drive, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook on Boot Crew Media. Thanks and have a good one.